Okay, we have covered the situation of having at least one offer from a drama school on the table, whether that is a school that is like your dream school or whether it is a school that you're like, ugh. You have an option at the very, very least. Now, what happens if you have no options at all? I.e., you have poured your heart and soul into this audition season and it's just not gone your way. And this is the toughest part of audition season by far. And as a coach, my heart bloody bleeds, and it goes out to everybody who put the time and attention and effort and love and hope into getting into drama school. Like, that's their dream, and it just didn't work out this time round. It really, really sucks, and I'm so sorry that you're going through this. But there are some things that you can do to take some control back, to help you feel a little bit better, and to help prep you for potentially what's to come next. Just because you don't have an option from a drama school doesn't mean that you don't have options. You always have options. First thing that I want you to do in this process is grieve. Look, you put time, attention, hope, and love into this. You went out and said, hi, I would really, really like to go to drama school. Please, can I do that? And they said, no. That's gonna sting. That's gonna hurt, okay? So you need to feel it to heal it, as they say. And don't give me the whole, oh, I don't care, I'm fine, it's not a big deal, I never wanted to go to that school anyway, it's like, whatever. Don't be like too cool for school. Don't do that like cool guy routine. If you're hurting, then you might as well just say that you're hurting. It's an okay thing to be disappointed about. You've put the time and effort and energy that it takes to try for drama school and it didn't go your way. That hurts. So feel it, but don't wallow. If you spend far too much time grieving and it doesn't have a deadline, then you're going to get into that kind of learned helplessness, victimhood mentality, and it is not going to help you grow and improve for next time. So you need to put a deadline on it, whether that is a day or an afternoon or a couple of hours or a weekend or whatever's going to work for you. A short amount of time where you get to just sit and feel a bit rubbish. When I was auditioning a lot more and I would get really, really close to getting a job and then it ended up being a no, I would be like, right, okay, that's me for the rest of the day. And I would sit on the sofa in a blanket with a carrot cake, a whole one, and I would watch Moana, because that would make me feel better. And that is okay. You're allowed to do that. But at the end of that day, I was like, and now I'm done. I'm done. It doesn't mean that you don't feel it anymore, like you just kind of cut off your feelings. It means that you don't indulge the feeling anymore, that you don't just kind of like have yourself at the mercy of that feeling. Because at the end of the day, those negative feelings aren't going to be serving you for the long haul. And in the end, you are going to be getting a lot of rejection as a professional actor. You are going to be auditioning more than you are going to be in work, and you're going to be getting more no's than you're going to be getting yeses. That is just the state of affairs. So we need to find a robust and sturdy way of finding ourselves through this as a situation so that we have longevity within this as a career. The next thing that you are going to do is you are going to ask for feedback. Now, some schools will give you feedback and other schools will not. And personally speaking, I think that we should be taking to the streets and protesting outside of each and every single drama school that does not offer feedback when you get to recall stages. I think it's irresponsible and it's a bit of a dick move, quite frankly, because I'm sorry, you've invested time, money, attention, love, hope, all of the things into doing your best work on the day. They take you to recall stages. The least that they can do is give you a couple of lines of feedback so that you know what to do, catering yourself to that school in particular if you decide to reapply. It makes no sense to me whatsoever why they cannot just supply that when they give you, I'm so sorry, it's not gone your way, email. A couple of lines would be more than doable. Why they don't do it, I think it's fucking criminal. And that is a hill I'm willing to die on, but alas, I digress. So yes, some schools will give you feedback and others won't. But what you are going to do is you are going to email each and every drama school that you got to a recall stage for, and you're going to ask for your audition notes because you want to know how to improve going forward. Knowledge is power, and you can't just be stabbing in the dark the next time that you audition. You want to have clear things that you are working towards. And the drama schools will be able to supply you with that if they're nice. They're not nice, we should kick them in the dick and toss them in the sea. The next thing that you're going to do is you are going to decide on next year. Now, you might be feeling the sting of rejection a bit too acutely right now to make an informed decision about whether you do or do not want to reapply next year. So you might want to let the dust settle on that a little bit and return to that question a week, a couple of months down the line. That's okay. For some people, they'll get rejections through, the audition season won't go their way, but it will be a resounding, yes, I absolutely want to go to drama school. I want to reapply next year. I got through recall stages, I got quite close, so I'm going to reapply next year. And that is just a straight up yes for them, and that's fine. For other people, it might take them a little bit of time to come to that decision, and that is okay. You take it at your own pace. It's really, really key though to not be influenced by anybody from the outside, all right? That includes friends and family who are like, oh, well, maybe you should contemplate university. Maybe you should, I don't fucking know, but please come to that decision by yourself instead of being influenced by other people. And also, by contemplating what you're going to do next year, i.e. drama school audition deadline isn't until January of 2026. You've got plenty of time to decide. What it does, it starts to get your mind away from the current situation of I've been rejected and everything's awful into what's coming next. Gets your mind in a future tense rather than the present tense of where everything's a bit blech. Yes? The next thing that you are going to do is you are going to reinvest in your life. Audition season can be all-encompassing. The likelihood is you have dedicated lots and lots of time and attention in finding material, preparing material, going to auditions, going to different drama schools, doing this, that, and the next thing, along with, you know, refreshing your emails and a lot of brain space being taken up with, am I accepted or am I not accepted? The likelihood is you let some aspects of your life fall by the wayside. So this is a perfect opportunity to reinvest in them. Spend more time with friends, spend more time with family. In the UK right now, like, summer is on its way, so it's a bit sunny, so maybe go outside, touch some grass, you know, frolic in a park, pet a dog, paint a vase, I don't know, like do something else that brings you joy outside of acting and outside of drama school, because the thing is, life does not start and end with acting, and life does not start and end with drama school. There are plenty of other things in life that will light you up. So please reinvest in these things. And another thing that you are going to do is you are going to remember Judi Dench. Oh yes. It took Dame Judi Dench 7 years to get into drama school. 7 years to get into drama school. That's like more time that you would spend at high school. A lot of time. I have a nephew who's 7. It took Judi Dench the time of my nephew's existence to get into drama school. That's mental. That is 7 years of reapplying and getting those, or rather 6 years, and then the 7th year, whoopie-doo, we're off to drama school. That's a lot of time. And yet, she's doing all right for herself. And she's not the only one. There are other actors out in the world that is not the exception to the rule. That is the rule. Most of the time, you do not get in on your first year. Sometimes you don't get in your second year or your third year or your fourth year, but maybe your 5th year, maybe it works out for you, and then off you go. So please do not be disheartened that you got a no this year, because a no this year does not mean a no ever. It means a no for now. And here's another thing to consider, and it might be something that is sitting in the back of people's heads right now, and they're scared to admit it, and they're scared to come out with it for fear of being judged in a very particular way. And I see it with people from time to time, and that is just this idea that you may have gone through audition season and you've just had a change of heart, where you've just kind of gone, do you know what? I don't think this is for me. I don't think acting is for me. I don't think auditioning is for me. I don't think drama school is for me. But I'm afraid to say it because there's this horrible misconception, this horrible judgment that you see sometimes in our industry, where if people quit, it is because they can't hack it, as opposed to they just don't love it anymore. And I'm sorry, the amount of people that I've spoken to and my own personal experiences, it's not that we can't hack it, it's that it just isn't serving us anymore. And there's a clear distinction between those two things. It is not down to weakness, it is down to us going, do you know what, I want a better life for myself. I want more happiness, more fulfillment, and more joy. And this is an avenue that's not going to give it to me. So if this is something that you're experiencing right now, then I'm actually really, really proud of you for contemplating that and admitting that. I've had coaching clients in the past that have kind of ummed and ahed about it, and then actually come to the conclusion of going, yeah, it's just not my bag. Oh my God, because the thing is, closed one door and you have opened like 50 million other doors of opportunity. It's dynamite. It's amazing. Because why would you venture down a path that you know isn't going to light you up, when it just means that that is one less thing that you have to occupy your time with? You get to experience and experiment and look into other avenues that could potentially give you a sense of joy, meaning, and purpose. That's brilliant. There is no judgment whatsoever with this. I would much prefer you to take yourself out of an environment and an industry and a situation that is highly competitive, oversubscribed, and ruthless from time to time. I'd much rather save you from that if you're finding that the benefit is not outweighing that. If you're not getting the sense of joy of being on stage and being in front of an audience and all of that kind of stuff, if that benefit doesn't outweigh the negatives, it's not worth investing in, honestly. And it is much better to admit that at this stage than at a later stage. All that's between you right now and you at a later stage persevering with this path is misery. You should only ever be staying in environments and situations that benefit you, that light you up, that give you some sense of knowledge, fulfillment, growth, whether that is immediate or whether that is in the long run. Now, I want to leave you with this idea that regardless of whether you got accepted to your dream school, got accepted to a school that you're like, meh, I don't care, or whether you have no options on the table whatsoever, or whether you've had a change of heart, you always have choice and you always have options. I never want you to feel this sense that you've been backed into a corner and you have to make a decision that is going against your better judgment. There is always an audition year next year. There's always the option to go away and even come back to the industry if you want to. I have done that multiple times. That is okay. Just because you've been accepted to a school doesn't mean that you need to accept their acceptance. And just because you have auditioned doesn't mean that you need to continue on that road if you don't want to. And also, please remember that regardless of whether you get a yes from a drama school or whether you get a no from a drama school, it has no bearing and no weight on your self-worth. You find too often that actors will marry up the acceptances or the rejections that they get from the industry or drama school, and they will marry that up with their own identity and their own character, and they will intertwine them in a very unhealthy way. And that's not very good for longevity, it's not very good for sustaining you within the industry, and it's not very beneficial to your happiness. You need to be able to separate those two things out. I am a fully fledged, good human being, regardless of whether you give me a yes and regardless of whether you give me a no. And we need to be able to practice that more and more. I hope that you enjoyed these videos. I hope that that gave you some insight. If you have any questions or queries, make sure to put them below. But until next time,